on economic development. Igor will introduce us investment opportunities in Ukraine exceeding 12 million euros. So Igor, pleasure to meet you here, and floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Unfortunately, I can't see you, but I hope you will forgive me for not wearing a suit for this meeting.
It's about 18 of us here in auditorium, so floor is yours, quite huge.
Okay. Well, taking this opportunity, I would like to thank the Lithuanian people, the president, the Seimas, and the government for your loyal and unwavering support of our struggle for the freedom of Ukraine and the whole of Europe against the Moscow barbarians. We really appreciate it. I think each of you may be interested in what is happening now with investment in Ukraine and how the legislation works. So I will say a few words for the beginning about the current situation, and if you don't mind. I would like to know that the law on state support of investment projects with significant investment in Ukraine is currently in force. All bylaws and regulation have been approved, and funds for state support have been allocated in the budget for 2025 in the amount of approximately 23 million euros or around 1 billion hryvnia. In 2024, despite the active phase of the war, that was last year, we signed 2 special investment agreements for a total investment of almost 100 million euros. 2 investment projects have received conclusion on feasibility of their implementation, and now are already preparing special investment agreements. And the amount for investment that is going to be is around 135 million euros. 3 other major investors with a declared investment volume of more than 450 million are preparing to submit their applications. So we have more than 10 potential investors with a total investment of about 1 billion euros. So this is situation for now. Now let's move on to my presentation. And at the beginning, there are a couple of key points that I would like to draw your attention to. First of all, significant investment, according to our legislation, are investments in fixed assets, excluding intangible assets and goodwill, in the amount of 12+ million euro, excluding VAT. The implementation period of the investment project cannot exceed 5 years. So it means that any investment project must be finished during 5 years. 10 or more new jobs should be created according to the formula you see on this slide. And in addition, in order to implement a project with significant investment, it's necessary to establish a company that is a resident of Ukraine and whose main activity is the implementation of a project with significant investment and the fulfillment of the condition of special investment agreement. So this is the 4 main points that you have to consider before start to think to invest in Ukraine. To be eligible for state support, an investment project with significant investment must be implemented in areas defined by law. These are mainly processing industry, also extraction for further processing of minerals, waste management, transportation, warehousing, scientific and technical activities, healthcare, so etc. So we make quite wide range of sphere where investment of significant investment can be implemented. But I would like to stress that we are going to focus on the processing and industry, on the manufacturing industry, so on. In order to stimulate investment in Ukraine, the law provides for the following forms of state support during the implementation of an investment project with significant investment. And here, very important to know that such state support may not exceed 30% of the planned volume of significant investment and consist of the following: exception from corporate income tax for 5 years, and you see this on the slide, exception from import duties on new equipment and components imported exclusively for the implementation of an investment project, exception from VAT for import of this new equipment and components, land grant and tax reduction, and even exemption in some cases, ensuring the preemptive right to use a state-owned or municipally owned land plot for the implementation of an investment project, securing the right of first refusal for the investor with significant investment to acquire such a land plot in ownership after the special investment agreement expires. Also, the range of compensation possibility. Compensation for the cost of connection to engineering and transport networks necessary for the implementation of an investment project. Compensation for the cost of engineering and transportation infrastructure, such as roads, communication lines, heat, gas, water, electricity supply, etc., billed by the applicant or investor with significant investment. So this is the main forms of state support that I would like to mention. There is a number of others, but I think when you will decide to invest in Ukraine, we have an authorized institution, a special authorized institution, Ukraine Invest, and they will inform you and support you with all necessary information to go this process as smooth as possible. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you have some question, please ask, and let me take this opportunity to tell you, invest to Ukraine.
Thank you, Igor, for your presentation. And we think that your contacts will be very important for our companies. And actually, you showed key areas of implementation of investments. So in your opinion, what are potential niche and where Lithuanian businesses can contribute most effectively in the rebuilding processes?
So it's obvious that Ukraine will be a growth point for the global economy after the war is over. According to various estimates, the total losses of our country from the armed aggression of Russians range from $500 to $750 billion. The damage to Ukrainian infrastructure alone, only more than $200 billion. And all this will need to be restored, rebuilt, and developed anew. Therefore, frankly speaking, each sector of the Ukrainian economy has its own potential. This is especially true when we talk about manufacturing, energy sector, construction and building materials, agricultural processing, military, etc. So I think this will be the key sectors where we have to invest.
And Lithuania has to show in these sectors really significant achievements, I think so.
Definitely, our best friend so ever. Please come and invest. Let's make money together in Ukraine.
Now audience are smiling or laughing.
Thank you
for such a good presentation, and hope to see you soon in Lithuania or Ukraine.
Thank you.